My name is Genevieve Page Villar. This is More Than a Woman, where success is only part of the story. And today we have Bobby Suarez, which, as everybody knows, as Sell to Bobby. Just walking in here, everybody knew who you were. So tell us, I want to know, who is Bobby Suarez?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Bobby Suarez, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a family guy, just a regular guy that happens to be good at marketing. Um, you want me to give you my whole
Yeah,
life
let's
story, how
dive
I got
in.
started? Yeah,
Yeah. How did you get into real estate?
so I've been an entrepreneur since I was 19. I got into the mortgage industry at 19. I opened my own company at 20, and I did that till about the financial crash. And then in 2010, I started working for a company that represented hedge funds, and we were the pioneers in buying single family homes, like in a large scale for rental purposes. And I did that till about 2012, 2013. And that's when I first started fixing and flipping houses, kind of like part time while I was working there. And in 2014, I decided to go on my own and just fixing and flipping, doing it on my own. I did it till like about 2018, like just kind of like a one man show with an assistant. And in 2019, I decided to actually, you know what, I'm going to start building a real business. I decided to hire more people. I got an executive team now, and here we are now. Obviously, we built the company is called selltobobby.com, which a lot of people in South Florida and now in Tampa, they all recognize and know. And yeah, I mean, what else you want to know?
Well, amazing story. I love how you were able to transition from huge hedge funds, doing it for, somebody else, and now you've got the courage to do it for yourself. When did you realize that you really wanted to do that for yourself?
Yeah, so I've always, like I said, I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always been my own boss. So like I said, in 2019, I decided to
But what was that shift? What was that moment like? I got to do this on my own.
Honestly, it was when I joined a real estate mastermind.
Okay.
So I went to this event, and obviously it kind of like opened up my mind of the possibilities. I honestly thought that I was already doing it at a high level, and then you go there and you're like, wow, there's people at a way higher level. So I met up a bunch of guys that were really good at advertising there, and they were like, dude, you got to start doing TV commercials. And I was like, does that really work? And aside from that, it's very expensive. And I just, you know what? I told them, let's do it. They were like an advertising agency,
Okay.
and I told them, let's do it. I took the chance. Obviously, like I said, it was very expensive, nerve-wracking when I did it, and honestly, I never looked back. I remember I got my first deal the second day of our commercials airing. We put a property under contract, and I called them back and I told them, hey, double up on the ads for the following month.
Wow.
And honestly, that's how I've always grown. I've kind of put myself in uncomfortable situations to kind of like go ahead to the next level.
It's funny that you're mentioning that you thought that you were already at this level of, doing it at a big scale, but it opened up your eyes going to a networking event or going to a mastermind. I attend those sometimes and I walk out of there with like a different meaning. And I always say that rubbing elbows with the right people always changes your perspective on what you're doing and how you need to push forward and do more. So I'm very hard on myself because I feel like I get to the goal that I wanted and then I'm like, wait, but that's still not enough. Like I keep going, and it's not until I'm in the right rooms and I continue to network with people that are more ahead of me. I'm only 30. I've been doing it for 10 years, but I'm always learning and I love learning. And I think now I have my 3 kids and I go to a lot of different networking events and I have more purpose now. And when I go to all of these masterminds, or like I have a conference this week, connecting with other women and seeing at the level that they're at, I'm just continuing to push forward. But I loved how advertising really changed the game for you. And I feel like you said that you started the advertising in 2019.
Right around like 2018,
I feel like
2019.
from when you started, I've been hearing Sell to Bobby. I didn't know it. I didn't even follow you on Instagram, but I knew that you bought houses, like Sell to Bobby. So you immediately launched your business on your own and immediately started advertising. Like you didn't have any clients. You just went for it with advertising.
Yeah. So I was already doing the business. I was already buying houses since 2012, but that's when I really like scaled it to the next level. And like I said, I actually started looking for better people that are better than me at certain roles and certain jobs in my office. So I went from like a 2-man company to now we have almost 30 employees
Amazing.
that help me run the operations.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think the most important part in my business right now is honestly we have amazing branding, amazing marketing, and the people is honestly what's helped me elevate to the next level.
So who's
Yeah.
your kind of client? Let's just say only with yourself and Bobby, because I know you have other businesses.
Yeah. So when we first started, honestly, we were just kind of targeting people that were in financial distress
Hmm.
or they were going through divorce or something like that. But honestly, we've become now like the CarMax of houses. People are just calling us to sell their house out of straight up convenience. We bought houses in Key Biscayne. I bought
Right.
houses on the water. My personal house, I bought it from a lead that came in, and he was a successful attorney.
Hmm.
Obviously, he did well for himself. He just wanted to sell to us because he didn't want people coming into his house. He didn't want open houses. He didn't want
You
to
wanted a
hassle.
quick, easy process.
Yep.
This might
So
be a controversial question to you, but do
mhm.
you give a fair offer?
Yeah, I mean, we give a fair offer where obviously we could make money. You know, we're
Yeah, of
investors
course.
and we are super open with our sellers.
Hmm.
We're like, I believe 100% in transparency. So, and we tell them, well, I also own our own brokerage. So it's like, look, if the cash offer is not what you need,
Hmm.
then you could list it with one of my top real estate agents. I hired the best real estate agents in the country to work for me. So we have different options for sellers now that we didn't have a couple years ago. But like I said, we are transparent. We tell people we obviously we're here to make money. We're investors,
Right.
you know.
And so now you started in South Florida, but I know that now you've branched out to Tampa. Do you feel like you did that because the market is now saturated in Miami and you need to expand?
Yeah. So it got to the point where we're spending a certain amount of money in marketing,
Hmm.
and it feels like I increase the marketing, it doesn't increase revenue.
Right,
You know,
because you
so
already tapped out in the
we've reached a
market.
diminishing return. So we are still trying out different marketing avenues that we haven't, I think, completely like push it to the limit yet. Like
Mhm.
we're gonna get into streaming now, which is I think it's like the future of TV. Broadcast, I think, has been diminishing over the last few years,
Mhm.
including myself. I don't watch regular TV now. I
don't
watch.
remember the last time I turned the TV on.
Yeah. I mean, I
I
still do
actually
in the
just
mornings,
thought
but I
about that
watch. Yeah,
yesterday.
I watch YouTube TV,
Okay, yeah, that's what I
and
used to
then
do.
a lot of people stream with different apps.
Right.
So now we're gonna put a ton of money into that. But yeah, to answer your question, I want to become like the Morgan and Morgan of real estate is my goal. I want to open nationwide. I want to compete with the biggest companies and just continue growing.
How do you think that you're gonna get there?
Persistence, and honestly, like I said, I have really good people.
Yeah.
So I think the people is the most important thing.
Hmm. Who you
And
train?
yeah, and be patient. You know, I'm not gonna do it overnight.
Hmm.
You know, like we opened up, for example, in Tampa on June 1st, and I'm gonna let that market kind of like grow, hire good people there on the ground.
Hmm.
I don't operate with virtual employees. We have people boots on the ground.
Hmm.
And I think that's also what sets us apart from a lot of other investors that they try to buy houses over the phone and not visit the homes in
Mhm.
person right away. So that's one of my competitive edges, and honestly, our branding. I made the decision to really like create a real brand about, like I said, 8-9 years ago,
Hmm.
and I think it's become now memorable. Where literally, if you live in Miami or you come here, like you're gonna see something, one of my ads,
Yeah.
either a billboard or you're gonna hear me on the radio, or you're gonna see my TV commercial, or if you're gonna stream a show, you're gonna definitely watch us. You know, so
Yeah. I realized that not too late because it's never too late, but I've had, my businesses, multiple businesses for 10 years, and I always focused on how do I grow the business? How do I grow the business? And I never realized that the business is me. Like I'm the soul behind the business,
Mhm.
and people want that trust and relationship with me. So when I started pivoting and showing my face more, nurturing my clients on social media, talking to them, being there on social media, it really overnight, I have people, I don't even, not as much as I should, but I'm not consistent on TikTok. And
Mhm.
I had a couple come in this weekend on Saturday, men, and they said that they found me on TikTok. And I have like, I don't even know, like 300 followers because I
Wow.
just opened the TikTok. So I was like, and it's not the first time that I heard it. And I've also noticed collaborating with different people in different industries, it's made a huge impact on my businesses. So I'm
Absolutely.
glad it's working for you. And I feel like, the same strategies that you've done in Miami,
Yeah.
continue to do that in Tampa. But obviously it's working, and then nationwide. And I listen to a lot of other podcasts, and Alex Hormozy once said that there's blocks, and the foundation of the blocks is what's going to hold your business up long term. If you want to sell, if you want to exit in a couple of years, your foundation and the way you started and the way you started building is what's going to get you either $1 million sale or $100 million exit. So I really always look at the foundation and how can I scale by fixing what maybe I didn't do back then to really grow now. And the market is always changing. Social media
Yep.
is always changing. So streaming, that's all going to be amazing for you. Going now though with your personal life, I did some digging. I
Mhm.
saw you've been with your wife for a long time. I saw some pictures. Tell me a little bit about that. Do you guys have kids?
Yes. So I've been with my wife since we were 19, going on 22 or 23 years
Wow.
now. Yeah.
How old are you?
43.
Okay.
Yeah, just turned 43. I have two girls. My oldest is 13, my youngest is 9,
Okay.
and they're my life.
Girl dad.
Oh yeah.
I'm a boy
Yeah.
mom. I only have boys.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Oh yeah. Tell me about it. But yeah, I love my girls. So I work and just hang out with them.
Yeah. And your wife, she's always been supportive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's hard. You can have an anchor, or you can have an amplifier.
So we've been together since obviously when I didn't have much. Again, I was always an entrepreneur at a young age. I was always making decent money. But even like, for example, during the financial collapse, things weren't so good. And, she's been with me since, ups and downs. And
I think you have to be supportive and understanding and ride or die when you're an entrepreneur, because you never know. Your success, you've been in different industries. We spoke briefly outside about now the other industries that you're getting involved with. Tell me about those.
Yeah. So about 2 years ago, I got into the healthcare field. We own 2 clinical research facilities in South Florida. We have one in Doral. I have another one in Jupiter, Florida.
Okay.
And it's honestly, it's a great business. It's a very slow moving business. It's not like real estate, but I love it because it's we're helping people, and eventually we're gonna. The whole premise of it is that we're doing studies on medications to see if they work to better the human beings. And honestly, some of these medications eventually get FDA approved. So like we have right now, I think over like 10 studies. We're doing 2 for cancer.
Okay.
So it's honestly a great business, and it's also very rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say that not to get into a business that you're passionate about, but more of just something that you're really good at. But I see that like you have both.
Yes.
And I feel like Bobby is the marketing guy. So you could really open anything and you'd be good at it.
I've been really fortunate and I guess lucky to find good operators.
Yeah.
So I don't get into businesses unless I have obviously the right people, or maybe the right partners, or the right operator that's going to manage the business for me. Because I like to ultra focus on one thing.
Right.
My main business is my real estate business.
Of course.
So like the healthcare, I provide business advice, obviously financial. I provide the money for the operations, but usually every business I get into, I find the right operator before I get into it.
Do you personally give back to any charities, or are you involved in any philanthropic,
I do. So like it really, the other day I did a mortgage relief where I paid somebody's mortgage. We did a contest.
Yeah.
And we were paying for a family's mortgage. They won. They're out of Pembroke Pines, super sweet family, and we're paying their whole mortgage for a whole year. But yeah, we're always trying to give back. Like even with the what happened in Venezuela, with all the buildings collapsing, we donated $3,000 to help with that. And but yeah, we're always giving back to different. Like we also participate like in remodeling like orphanages in Miami Gardens, where there's kids that live there that obviously they don't have parents. But we're definitely, like I said, we're always trying to get back.
Yeah, I've also, that gives me a lot of purpose. I've gotten a lot of I personally go and like volunteer, and I'm on host committees for different events. And not only have I seen like the impact in my business, also, the marketing and everything behind it, but I also come home like more
Yeah.
appreciative of everything that I have. And I have my 3 kids, so I'm always trying to teach them, you know, we have everything that we have, but we've also worked for it. And many people
Mhm.
don't have that. So I always, they're only,
Absolutely.
I sound crazy because they're only 4, 3, and 1,
Oh, wow.
but I try to teach them as young as possible. I'm always showing them videos of, all the work that I do, even if it's just going to a high school and speaking to the kids and just giving them motivation. Um, how, if everything was taken away from you, how would you build it all back up? What advice would you give to, let's say, a young kid that is just starting out?
So first and foremost, I think the most important thing that you need to have or trait, I would say, is sales skills.
Mm-hmm.
So I would find a money partner, and obviously the knowledge that I have is priceless.
Right.
So I would partner up with somebody and do it all over again and build it up and
Right.
reinvest back into my business, which is how I've done it. I've never taken on partners.
Mm-hmm.
I've always just reinvested everything back. I held back from buying nice things at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I love cars, so now I've bought nicer cars. But
What
I've
cars do you
always
have now?
I have a Porsche Turbo S
I love it.
and a G wagon,
For now, I just have my mommy Escalade.
and I have an Escalade too. That's the best family car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but like I said, I held back in buying nice things and buying the big house at the beginning, reinvested everything back into my business to make sure that the foundation of my business was good.
Mm-hmm. Did you go to school for business?
I did. I initially didn't go to school right away.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I started my business. I ended up doing it after, and it was an online type
Mm-hmm.
college. I studied finance,
Mm-hmm.
but honestly, I regret it.
Really?
Yeah. I wish I would, if I was going to go to school, I wish I would have done it like on campus.
Okay.
Because I feel like you're going to get more out of it. You're going to meet more people.
Yeah.
I think it's the network. Yeah.
But do you feel like, because this is how I feel, do you feel like you learn more through daily operations of running your businesses more than anything that they would teach you in school?
Absolutely. Like right now, I'm always learning. I'm
Yeah.
reading books,
Mm-hmm.
or I get home and I turn on YouTube and I'll watch
I
Alex
listen to
Hormozy,
a lot of podcasts.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always learning.
So if your daughters tell you when they're older, Daddy, I don't want to go to school, I know what I want to do, and it doesn't require school, what would you say?
I would tell them it's already paid for, so you got to go. For me, I had to go out and work and make money.
Yeah.
So they're in a different scenario.
Right.
I would at least want them to get their 4 years. But honestly, if they tell me, like my oldest daughter tells me she wants to be a real estate investor like me, if she tells me that, and I'll be like, you know what?
Go.
Yeah, let's do it.
I agree.
But like I said, I would love for them to at least
Right.
get that 4-year experience in a university.
Yeah.
I didn't have that.
I just feel like the education system right now, my dad's an educator. He's a principal. He was with Miami-Dade County Public Schools for, his 30 years, and now he double dipped into a charter school. But I got the papers for him. I always knew.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't always know. I thought I was going to be a doctor. And obviously you have to go to school for doctor, lawyer, accountant, architect. So for those careers, I obviously see you have to go to school. But for what I wanted to do, I studied psychology with a minor in international business.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't need to, I didn't end up really using any of it. I don't think I remember anything that I was taught. Maybe a little bit of psychology and sales and understanding humans. But I don't know, if my kids told me one day that, I have my plan and they showed me their plan, then I would let them just ride with it. But they can't be lazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. You got to teach them hard work, and like I said, I think it would be better if these universities would actually teach like trades.
Yeah.
Or even honestly, if I was in high school, I would have learned about sales.
But they're not in the business for that. Yeah. They're in the business of making employees.
Yeah.
So they don't know that.
Absolutely. I know.
But a lot of these schools, these public schools, are losing students. I talk to teachers and I talk to principals. A lot of public schools are going to be closing, I think.
Really? What are they, homeschooling the kids more?
They're either homeschooling, virtual school, or charter and private. And now with Step Up, everybody's taking advantage. But I'm learning that also. Step Up it covers only so much, and then the schools are getting smart. They're just increasing their prices, so it ends up being the same. Like I think Belen is like, I don't even know now, like 40.
Wow.
50,000 a year. Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's insane. But a lot of public schools are struggling, and charters are like, my kids go to True North, but they're so little that I still have to pay out of pocket
Wow.
for a while.
Yeah, now
I
that
have
you
a
think about it, I
mortgage
mean,
for my
I
childcare.
definitely, I see a bunch of my buddies too that they have their kids in private school,
Yeah.
and I think it's again because of that step up, they're able to get
Yeah.
that financial support.
So every successful entrepreneur has gone through their waves of the struggles and the wins. Was there any point where you felt like, I can't do this anymore, I want to give up?
Honestly, no.
No.
For me, failure is not an option.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've had my rough times,
Mhm.
you know, like any entrepreneur out there.
Mhm.
But I'm self-motivated. I don't think there's anybody more motivated than me out
Really?
there. Yeah.
But you don't feel like any little bit of burnout?
No. I love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about business. Like my wife gets annoyed at me because we go out to dinner. We do date nights every Friday.
This is what I was going to ask you
And
next.
all I do is talk about business. That's what I love.
And she doesn't want to talk about it.
I mean, she'll listen, you know, but
Yeah.
she prefers to talk about other stuff. But I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, let's come back to business, you know.
Yeah.
So
I hopefully my husband doesn't hear this part, but he doesn't like to talk about it either, and I do.
really,
I dragged him on to a networking event last Wednesday at Private Wealth Management of Coral Gables. And I think, he's a business guy also,
yeah,
but he's a police officer with
Got it.
Miami Beach. He's a lieutenant, and he's done very well for himself. He's always said, I don't want to be chief one day, but just in his nature, he is going to be chief one day. Like, he is very political looking. Like,
he's a high achiever.
Yeah. So it just naturally, he doesn't need to work that hard. He is just that good.
Got it.
So we have investment properties, and I'm telling him, like, I want to buy a building next, or I want to, what's the next step? And he's like done. He's like happy with what we have. And I'm not. I'm like, I'm always trying to get more.
For me, it's never enough.
So I brought him on to this networking event, and he was like, the next day, I think he was already meeting with his financial advisor. He was like, what can we do? So to your point, though, our date nights, it's the same thing. I like to talk about, like, he's not involved with my business at all. I do everything by myself. But sometimes I need that third person, like the outsider looking in. My mom doesn't want to talk about it. So who am I going to talk to about it with? So I need like that someone else looking in, and he doesn't want to talk about it. So I'm like, I don't want, my date nights and my networking. I'm having a glass of wine, but I'm networking with people.
Yep.
And those are the relationships that are built that maybe not get used right now, but 6 months down the line, that relationship.
You never know.
Yeah, you just never know.
Talking about, you said that you were, you go speak at school sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a perfect example. The last time there was a career day at my daughter's school, I went and I spoke. Somebody saw my name. They're like, oh, Bobby's was here.
Mm-hmm.
They actually reached out and sold us their house actually here in Pinecrest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
you never know.
You never
So
know.
I go everywhere. People invite me to podcasts. I don't care what following they have. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's not only about that. It's building relationships.
Yeah.
You never know if there's any business we could do in the future. Perhaps you could buy houses from me. You never know.
Absolutely. I was on a podcast. A friend of mine has a podcast in South Beach. And the next guest that he had on was an attorney. And in the middle of this podcast airing, I was in the middle of a buyout with my business partner. In the business that I am in, I had a business partner, and I had to buy her out. And I needed an attorney. And I met this attorney through his podcast. So you just never know, honestly.
Always be networking.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And we met because of Jenny.
Yeah.
Jenny is a very good friend of mine now. So I love the power of networking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what is one business principle you've never compromised on, even if it's costed you some money?
I would say integrity, like have integrity.
Yeah.
In business, don't lie to people, be transparent.
Is the customer always right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not in my line of business.
Yeah.
I
feel like
but definitely you gotta, even if they're upset or something, you gotta always, be professional and hear them out,
I want to say that the customer is always right, but obviously they're not. And they're not because of the lack of knowledge in the industry.
That's what I meant to say.
They might be right in their head, but they're not.
Yeah.
So I understand that completely. Well, it was amazing having you on the show. can you tell everybody where they can find you on social media, on Facebook? Where are your billboards? What channels are you on to catch you on
Yeah,
TV?
so we're pretty much on all the local channels in South Florida and Tampa. So you could watch us on 10, 7, 6, 4. Billboards are all over. I think we have now like 80 billboards around town.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm on the radio.
Okay.
So you could find the name of my company is selltobobby.com. I'm very active also on Instagram. So you could follow me at Bobby Suarez, or at selltobobby.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much for coming on the
Thank
show.
you for having me.
This was More Than a Woman, and thank you for watching.